Good evening.
So
Hello,
let's
good evening.
welcome Tolulope Oladeji to present to us on leveraging research profile for successful graduate studies admission. Tolulope is from University of Cincinnati, a PhD scholar, doctoral scholar at the University of Cincinnati in the United States. So over to you, Ms. Oladeji.
Thank you very much, Pro. Thank you very much for this privilege to talk to everyone regarding leveraging research profiles for successful graduate studies admission. This talk is about is actually for those people that are interested in pursuing their graduate studies, maybe their master's or their PhD in the United States, or maybe you want to go for an MBA in the United States, or maybe in Canada, or you also want to go to the States. Okay, before I start, I would like to start with this quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. He said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." I believe we all have dreams. I believe we all have aspirations, one thing or the other we all want to achieve in life. And it is never easy. You have to go for what you have. You have to put in all your efforts to get to where you want to be in life. So I'm going to start the introduction with the educational background. I finished from Obafemi Awolowo University in Nigeria. I graduated in 2017 and I finished my master's in 2023. And immediately after my master's degree, I was lucky enough to get a PhD admission to the US. I went to the US in 2024. That was last. My specialization before coming here was in environmental sciences, and I also had the opportunity to get some additional knowledge in data science, machine learning, which I was doing some things in that line before coming here. So let's go to the overview of my presentation. So to start with, I want to start with the importance of research profile in graduate admissions. So any prospective applicants, it is actually very important for you to have a good research profile before you for MSc or for your PhD. And the admission committees, they have their own perspective. They have a way of looking at your package holistically. You look at everything you submit, and you are competing with people from all over the world, not just Nigerians. We have people from different parts of the world that are competing with you. So how is your application going to stand out if your application package is being compared with someone coming from China or from countries that are more technologically advanced and educationally advanced than, let me say, Nigeria, and they're really way ahead, and people also want to do that. What and what can really make you happy when your application package is being compared with them? Then you also need to demonstrate fit. Some of the things during fitting into their program. Not that you want to for a PhD, that's about medical sciences, and maybe your background is not even related to biomedical sciences, and you didn't even do maybe any research, you didn't even get any experience, or that can even make them look at your application and say, okay, maybe along the line you intern with a particular company or you learn these skills in line with this line. So these are some of the things they will look at. If you are coming in, let's say for chemistry, there must be some things that you must have done. Maybe you work in the laboratory, there's some research you've done during your undergraduate, or maybe you volunteered with different research groups like other, like you work on different maybe research work that is related to chemistry. They will look at your fit, how fit are you. So someone that they will prefer to go for someone that has that fits compared to someone that doesn't have fit. For instance, maybe your CV, you're putting something like I did customer representative for MTN, and you want to come to the US to come and do PhD, let's say aerospace engineering. Like, what's the correlation? Like, it's not working well. Like, it's not correlating. So they will look at things like that. Also, provision of proving research readiness. They will see if you are research ready. Some of these admission committees look at that. They are more interested. Most times they are often interested in your research experience. Like, okay, have you worked with? Have you volunteered in lab? Have you worked with maybe a research team where they work together, publish papers? How do you publish papers? Or do you even at least have these? to identify your research. What is your interest you want to achieve? To come to for a postgraduate program, or do you have a picture? Is like, what is your interest? What do you want to achieve? What do you have in mind? Are you planning that? Okay, fine. I want to improve my skills and become an AI engineer. I want to apply AI to health. Like, you must have a research interest that's specific and it's not ambiguous. Like, it's well detailed. And secondly, you need to also like build a research profile. You can just create like a research profile. There are so many websites like you can create nowadays. You can just put some things together to create a research profile so that when the admission committee go through it, you can see the link as part of your application that you submitted. To give them an idea that, oh, this person knows what he or she do. Then also tailor your profile to graduate programs. Don't just make your profile like just something that are irrelevant. Too much of things that are already so tailor it to the graduate program that you're applying to, and also highlight your interdisciplinary skills. What are other interdisciplinary skills that you feel like, oh, if they see this skill on my CV, they will be impressed. To give me an edge over someone coming from China, to give me an edge over someone coming from India, to give me an edge over someone coming from the United Kingdom. Because most times people apply from different places, different parts of the world. Everybody wants to come to the US due to the fact that US has advantage when it comes to graduate study. Like, it's a very good place for you to do that. So let's start with this. What is a research profile? A research profile is a summary of an individual's research interest, experience, and outputs. It is just like a summary of your research interest, what you're interested in, your experience, the experience you've gathered so far, and your outputs. What have you been able to do? What have you been able to do? And what are the key components of the research of a research profile? Your research interests, published papers or articles and reports, research projects and collaborations, conference presentations, research skills. I understand that in Nigeria, most of us might not really have the opportunity to partner with labs or collaborate with professors. But I want to like beg us, or should I say plead with us, if you can just go out of your comfort zone. Let's say you are interested in biomedical research. There's Nigerian Institute of Medical Research in Lagos, NIMA. Just volunteer with them. Try to get experience. They don't necessarily have to pay. You don't need to like work from Monday till Friday. Just for you to like volunteer. You tell them you want to volunteer. Look for a way to volunteer. Aside NIMA, there are also places like IIT. Like, just look for labs, look for places where you can volunteer, get experience. All these things really help you from that. And also try as much as possible to collaborate with professors, people that are working on projects. I know it might be difficult. Also try to look for conferences where you can present your paper. It doesn't have to be an international conference. It can just be like the conference in Nigeria. Like, present your work, let them know fine, you're doing something and you're presenting your work.
What do you want me to do?
Honor your research skills. So why is a strong research profile important for graduate admission? One, a strong research profile is important for your graduate admission because of the impact on admission decision. It will impact the admission decision. Most universities look for applicants with strong research background. That's what most professors look for. And secondly, academic potential. A strong research profile indicates that you are ready for graduate level research. You are ready for that graduate level. It is rigorous. It is stressful. Very strong profile, at least to give sense of specific to go through the stress. Committee consider how an applicant's research interests align with those of faculty. I'm going to give you an example. For instance, when I was coming in, looking for a professor or maybe the department now start telling me that, oh, who is now going to supervise you, blah, blah, blah. It's actually making things easier for you. It's allow you to like start your work on the go. You just start your research without any delay and everything just keep going. So all these things also have advantages. Next one is building an effective. So building an effective research, you need to identify, you need to think, and you need to develop and publish. Develop a skill in research methods. data analysis and writing. Develop a skill in how to write research papers, in how to understand research methodology behind how the research is being conducted. All these things will really help, and also improve analysis skills. It will really, really help when you show that you have these skills even before coming to graduate school. The admission committee will really be interested to application. If you can also publish a paper or present your findings at the conference, it should be an edge for you, and this should also go a long way. But if you can't, don't like put too much stress on yourself. But if you can't, then the key elements to highlight in your research profile. The key elements are your journal articles and conference papers, your research projects. Try as much as possible to work on a particular project, maybe one or two projects that is in a particular area of interest that you want to apply to. Like, let's say you're interested in biomedical research. Try as much as possible to maybe work on a, let's say maybe it's maybe cancer data. It might not necessarily be cancer data, or maybe health data, something similar to what you are interested in, so that you will see that there's already like a pattern. You're already moving in that direction, and it shouldn't be difficult for them to like make a decision with your application. Also, regarding your technical skills, try to hone your skills. Try to improve on your skills. No one actually gets there immediately. You just have to like keep improving on your skills. And awards and recognition. In any way you can maybe get more awards, get more recognition, academic awards. So the ones you've gotten before, try as much as possible to get that. If you can get scholarships, grants, or any recognition in research that you can include in your CV, or maybe any grants or maybe scholarship you've gotten before that you feel that okay, this scholarship or this grant will really be relevant. Kindly include it in your application, especially in your CV. And networking, like I said, it's always good to collaborate. We have a lot of professors in Nigeria that are doing research in your field. Maybe in the department where you finished from, where you graduated from. Maybe your own advisor, the person that supervised your bachelor's degree or maybe your master's degree. Try as much as possible to collaborate with these people. They don't necessarily have to pay you. Volunteer. Like, it will be worth it in the end. Just volunteer. Volunteer with them. Tell them, sir, if you have a paper you are working on, I would like to be a part of this paper. I would like to contribute to this. I would like to contribute to this research. Even if you are not there physically, you can do it remotely. Please kindly do that. It will also help you a lot. Then how to showcase your research profile. One of the best ways to showcase your research profile is to have a personal website or a portfolio. And the second best way is to highlight your research on LinkedIn. Yeah, some professors go through LinkedIn, like they check you online, they check your online presence. Try as much as possible to tidy up your LinkedIn profile. It's especially if you know you are going to include it in your CV. And you can also like have a ResearchGate account. I think that's the main place where researchers all over the world like collaborate. Like it's like their own social account, like ResearchGate. So ResearchGate is really good, and Google Scholar is also good too. So we have those two, ResearchGate and Google Scholar. Try to show your academic work. If you don't have anything to show there presently, don't pressure yourself. It's a gradual process. Some people didn't have all of this and they still got their admission. But we are talking about leveraging. If you want to like improve to have a competitive edge. So these are some of the things you can do. Then aligning your research interest with graduate programs. Number one, research the program. Understand the faculty's research interest and align your profile. Before you reach out to a professor, try to know what that person is doing. Try to understand that this professor I'm reaching out to is doing something that aligns with my interests. Try to let the person know that okay, this particular professor is doing something that aligns with my interests. Research very well about that particular faculty, and you also have the luxury of reaching out to as many faculties as possible that you felt like, oh, these people really, they are doing something that I understand, they are doing something that I have interest in, or something I would like to develop more on. Try as much as possible to reach out to many faculties as possible. Contact professors, send emails to professors, let them know that you are interested in their lab. Don't send shabby emails. A kind of mail that once the professor reads it, the professor will know that, oh, this person really understands what he or she is doing and understands what I'm doing in my lab. And you must also let them know in that email that you are bringing something into that lab, because so many people are sending mails to professors. What will make your email stand out? before you send the email to your professor, you should think, is this email really going to stand out? Out of, let's say, 300 people that will send the email to a professor, what will really make that professor to take interest in you? Once the professor opens your email, once the professor reads the email, what made the professor know that, oh, this student is someone I'm really interested in getting to know more about, and I really like to hear more from the person. So also tailor your application materials, like let's align with your background and fix your research goals. And I have some practical tips for a strong application. Your statement of purpose, please let it clearly communicate your research interest and your goals. Let your statement of purpose clearly communicate your research interest and goals. Then your letter of recommendations. I think most people often have problem with letter of recommendation, maybe due to the fact that some people already lost maybe contact with their professors back in uni days, and they probably felt they wouldn't need them anymore. And all of a sudden, you want to apply for to grad school, and you remember that, oh, that professor will be useful now, and I will need his recommendation. Build strong relationship with your professors. You are going to need recommendation letters. Even after getting to the US, you will still need recommendation letters. So try as much as possible, because you are going to lie to so, and you recommendation letters are some of the key things they look at. Sometimes the recommendation letter can give you an edge over someone in your field being able to speak very well about you, about your expertise, about your work, about how you are a good student, how you collaborate with others, and how you try to help others in the lab. This can really, really help you. Try as much as possible to get strong recommendation letters. And if you feel like a professor is not going to write a strong recommendation letter for you, don't use the person. Use someone that you are sure of that will write a good letter for you. That letter is the one that will speak for you when you are not there. If the person writes nonsense for you, it will affect you. Get someone that you are really, really sure of that, okay, fine, this person is going to write a very strong recommendation letter for me. And make it easy for them. You can draft maybe a letter so that they can edit from their hand. That is also another thing you can do. You can make it easier for them, because majority of them are busy and they don't have that luxury of time to start writing maybe 10 recommendation letters for you. Maybe you are submitting your application to 5 schools or maybe 8 schools. So draft something and then let them edit it to suit how they want it to look like. Then in your CV, include your research experience, any relevant publication or presentation. All these things, let them be there. And don't let it be ambiguous. Let it be clear. If you can use hyperlinks, use hyperlink. You can link them to maybe a Google Drive or something. Let everything be neat. Let it be well arranged. Let it show that, oh no, this person knows what he or she is doing. And if you also have writing samples, in case you don't have publications and you have maybe articles you've written before, that you felt like the article is okay. We have something called Medium and Ashnode for those that are into technical writing. If you're also not into technical writing, you can use Medium. You can create an account on Medium, write something, publish it, post it, add the link to your CV, so that once they click on the link, it will take them to that thing you've written. So you can have samples like that in case you don't have like an academic publication that you can use. At least they will have an idea of your writing sample. Or if you feel comfortable, maybe submitting your um hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can.
Okay. I'm so sorry, my network. I really apologize. I'm so sorry. So
Okay,
if you have
stable now.
a writing sample that you can use, that will also be helpful. Like in case you don't have a publication, in case you don't have a paper. I understand most times coming directly from undergraduate studies, most of us in Nigeria might not have a publication like immediately, except for maybe people that are lucky to have professors that help them to collaborate on paper and they were able to publish. Most oftentimes we don't always have that privilege of publishing. So try as much as possible to put yourself in a very good position. Draft something, write an article. And maybe a project you work on with, you build a machine learning model, maybe with predicting, let's say maybe your work is in maybe mechanical engineering, you build something, write an article on it, the results you so I write an article on those projects, publish them, add those links to it, let them see, do something, let them see it that, oh, it's not an article. Then common mistakes to avoid. Please, lack of focus. I want to say something. Graduate school journey is a personal journey. Nobody's going to do this journey for you. For those that are privileged to have people that are pushing them, they are privileged. But this is a journey that nobody's going to push you. Nobody's going to tell you to chase your dreams. Nobody really care about you. Nobody care. So you need to be focused. You know what you want. You know what is driving you. So any form of distraction that you know that, oh, this thing is really going to distract me and it's not going to make me be focused. Anything you feel like, oh, it's taking my time. If you feel social media is taking your time, if you feel like you are sleeping too much, wake up in the midnight, send those cold emails. Go over your CV over and over again. Reach out to people to help you go through your CV. Reach out to people to help you go through those documents. Reach out to people that you know that they are already maybe in grasp of, they've gone through that process to help you go through all of it. So be clear about your research and don't be too broad. Don't be everywhere. Be clear. Let them know that this is what you are interested in, and let everything you are submitting show that, oh, you are actually moving in that line. And secondly, avoid weak or generic personal statements. Any personal statements that maybe you just see something online, you now edit it, or you send it to ChatGPT to just edit it one way or the other. Please avoid it. Yeah, if you use ChatGPT, they will know. So don't even try it. Don't attempt it. Some can go scot-free, but I won't advise that. Try as much as possible to make your personal statements. Your story is personal. The story of my life is personal. The story of your life is personal. You know what you've been through. You know the process you've gone through. You know the things you've done, how those things have helped shaped you. Build your stories together. Writing is not easy. It's not going to be easy. When I started writing at first, I wasn't writing well. But over time, you are going to get better. Try as much as possible to avoid anything that is generic, anything that once they just carry it, say, oh, this one is similar to what, they just drop it in one corner. Because they have a lot of people they are reviewing, and you are competing with so many people, and not following up. This is another thing. Please always follow up. Follow up with that cold email. Don't if people might tell you, don't bother them too much. Don't stress them. See, it's your life. Oh, stress them. Follow up. This life, the battle, the race is for everybody, like to run their own race. Please follow up with that professor. I remember my advisor then. I was always sending emails to him like back to back. I did not allow him to rest. I could have given up. I could have said, oh, maybe God didn't want it that way. See, push. Nobody's going to push your dream. Nobody's going to send you. Because if it works in the end, people will congratulate you. They won't know the work you did in the background before getting to where you got to. Follow up. And if you need maybe fee waivers, send that email. Send those emails to them. Reach out to them. If some of them will not even reply your mail. Some will send you discouraging email. It's part of the journey. There will be rejection mails. It's part of the journey. Send it. Don't give up at all. See that one and follow up. Follow up with your applications. Follow up with everything. See, you have what you want. It's until you get to the point where you know that, oh, now I have my admission, I have my visa, I'm starting my program, then you can relax a bit. If you haven't gotten it, then don't stop. Nobody's going to wake you up in the midnight. Let that dream, that's what you have in mind. Like, oh, I want to be in US. Set a timeline for yourself. By this time next year, I'll be doing my PhD. I remember when I was graduating my master's, myself and my roommates were like, immediately after our master's, by next year, we are not doing next year December in Nigeria. And God did it. She's in UK, I'm in the US. And we put in the effort. We wrote GRE, we wrote TOEFL, and these are also major things. If your school is requesting for exams like maybe GRE, they're requesting for TOEFL or IELTS, the exams are expensive, I know, but try as much as possible to write them if you can. If it's for you to save up money to write them, please. If you know that particular band, you are certain and you are sure that, okay, fine, they will give you funding. But the most important thing is funding. Please write those exams. If it's going to give you an edge, if you maybe graduated with low GPA, low grade, maybe even if it's 2.2 or below, or even 2.1 sometimes, if you feel like, oh, writing a GRE will help you, please do. Some people have other things that they can use to augment. Some might not write GRE, but they have massive experience. So if you know you don't have that research experience and you don't have anything you can use that will make you stand out and have a competitive edge, write the GRE. Don't follow the bandwagon of people saying you don't bother, you don't need to. Yeah, I believe in miracle. I'm a child of God. But the truth is, there are some things we also need to do from our own end. Please don't give up, follow up, write those exams if they are important. It's expensive, it's not easy, it's rigorous. GRE itself is another exam that I really don't like talking about, but I wrote it, and I thank God I wrote it. If I didn't write that exam, I'm sure I'm still in Nigeria by now. Yeah. My advisor told me that my department, they don't even take anything. If you don't write GRE, they won't even take you. So I knew I had to write it. It wasn't convenient for me. I didn't have all the money, but I had to save up for it because I knew where I wanted to be. So please don't give up. And in conclusion, I'm so sorry to have taken much of our time. Um, Let me just wrap up with this. A research profile is a vital asset in graduate admission. Like we've said, work on your research profile. It's very important. And it should be well developed, focused, and aligned with your program. It should be in an alignment with your program of study, what you want to do. And also, building a strong research profile takes time. It actually takes time. In case maybe based on everything I'm saying now, you are thinking in your mind like, I don't have publication, no, I don't have that one, I don't have. See, don't put too much pressure on yourself. It takes time. It's time. Just make sure that you are putting in those efforts every day, and to be worth it in the end, actually. And also listen to people who encourage you to achieve your goals and follow them. There are people that will discourage you. You see that journey? It's a personal journey. There are people that will tell you, I did this, it did not work. I remember someone was telling me that you scared. Better go and find job, go and find something to do with your life. Sure, you know that when I applied for my own, it took me 4 years before I could get admission to the US for my PhD. I didn't listen to him. That's his own lot of discouragement. He knew they didn't allow that to negative things. Some people will even tell you that is it the America that Trump is doing anyhow now that you want to go to. Let them see whatever they want to say. Don't let that move. Please listen to people that will encourage. Anybody that you see is is a pessimist, always thinking of negative things, thinking of things not working. Please stay away from those kind of people. They are bad energy. They are bad energy. They won't help you. Move close to people that are optimistic, people that will let you know that, see, it's not going to be easy, but keep pushing. Stay with people that encourage you. Know the circle of people that you keep around you, the kind of friends, the kind of company, and the people you talk to regarding your application. It's not everybody you start talking to. I'm applying to this. Know the kind of people, know the kind of information you will give to people, know the kind of circle you have around you, and keep godly people, godly friends, people that can pray with you, that can join their faith with you, people that you know that they also have something like this. They are aspiring to go further in life and they have dreams and aspiration and they won't use their bad energy to discourage you. Please surround yourself with people like that. And I will end with this quote by Robert Collier. He says, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and out. Just keep grinding, keep pushing, keep going. Sometimes it won't make sense. Sometimes you will cry. Sometimes they will send rejection email to you like this. Your eyes will close. Just keep going. It will be worth it in the end. As long as you keep pushing, putting all these things together, one day you will get your congratulation letter and things will start forming shape. Thank you very much for your time. I'm so sorry my connection was breaking. I'm sorry I'm on the road and uh, I didn't have a choice. I have to present today because the date has already been fixed. The floor is now open for questions, answer, anything you want to ask me, you can ask now. And also the PowerPoint will be made available so that for anyone that wants to go through it again. You can also reach out to me if you need any help, any guidance regarding graduate school application. By special grace of God, I should be able to help and guide through. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask me. Thank you very much. Thank you, Prof.
Wow, thank you so much, Tolu.
Thank you, sir.
This is great. Is that not so insightful? This is highly
It was.
insightful.
Yes, sir. It was really insightful.
Thank
sir.
you, Tolu. We appreciate
Let's
the
appreciate
presentation.
her.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, the floor is open for questions.
Yes, ma. Thank you very much for the class. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, go
Yes,
ahead.
you are.
Okay, thank you so much, ma, for the class. At least, I'm let me say I'm encouraged. So I want to ask a personal question. I've actually been bothered because most often we just went through undergraduates. It's not as if we're not informed, but we're not really exposed. And probably let me say I did not really take it serious. So for someone that has a very poor undergraduate, like very, very poor undergraduate, and then with masters a little bit encouraging and all that, then with some research experiences here and there. Like, what can you say about that? Because someone was like, the purpose of those graduate people requesting our transcript is that they want to see the grade that we had in it. So someone with actually poor And this one is not even average, like actually poor undergraduates, but with other things like maybe research experience and probably masters and all. Like, how can the person stand a chance? I
Okay,
don't know if
thank you
I'm
very much. Yes,
making
yes,
it
yes, I
clear.
understand your question.
Because
I'm
my
actually in the
research
certificate.
interest, my research interest, you see those courses, I actually was checking my transcript and I wanted to read like that research interest that I had publication on, like all that my undergraduates in those courses were very poor. So I kept on wondering that how come, like someone was even telling me that I should change research interest and all that, but honestly, I don't know what to do. Thank you, ma.
Okay, thank you very for your question. Let's ask this. Currently, what do you want to do? Like, let's say you want to go for your graduate school, maybe your master's or your PhD. What do you want to go
Yeah,
for?
I'm interested in polymer chemistry, material science, and stuff like that.
Polymer chemistry, materials. And do you have any research experience in that line?
Yes,
Have you,
yes, I did masters. I have publications.
but you're afraid that some of your grades, maybe during
Like
undergrad,
my undergraduate grades were poor, like very poor
were very poor. Okay,
on
one
that
thing I want
particular.
to know is that this application, they look at things holistically. They look beyond your grade. They don't just look at your transcripts. Fine, they are going to look at it, but they look beyond that. What you are going to do is you will have to look for a way to augment for what is already maybe less in your transcripts. Is there a way you can maybe improve on your research experience? Now, I think that's just one of the major things you can do. You can volunteer in labs. They don't have to pay you. If you have enough rich research experience, and when they see your CV, forget that your transcript. I've seen so many people with low grades, people with top class, people with two, very low grades, and they got in. And people with first class sometimes didn't even get in. So don't let that discourage you at all. But these people were able to look for ways to fill in the gap, what was actually missing in their transcripts. So you need to look at what is actually missing. If you're already doing that, I would say continue in that line, continue to volunteer with maybe lab. Because I can't say go and work and they will pay you, because I'm not sure most labs in Nigeria will pay. But if you tell them you want to volunteer, they will say, sure, why not? We allow you to volunteer. Once you volunteer and you are doing like research, you are working in that lab, all those things you start adding it to your CV to help augment for your then another thing you can do, I don't know if chemistry department, most chemistry department, if they require GRE. Another thing you can do is to also write GRE. GRE also has a way of giving you an edge, and you have to score very well. It's a way to convince them that whatever happened during your undergraduate degree wasn't actually the true picture of you or maybe your academic competence. But if you can do well in your GRE, then I think that will also help. If you have that with those research experience, or even if it's teaching, like you can teach, maybe you can get a secondary school or you just teach them chemistry or some of those specific topics in chemistry that you feel that it will really help. Put all those things together. I believe you'll be fine. Then couple with other publications, just keep getting those, just keep making sure that your CV is tight. Once your CV is tight and they see what they are looking for in your CV, oftentimes they might overlook the transcripts. They look at everything holistically actually. They look at everything, not just your grade. They don't just look at grades. That's why the US is actually different. I don't know if I actually answered your question.
Yes, ma. Very well, ma. Thank you, ma. God bless you,
So in
ma.
case you have any other question later on, you can always feel free to like reach out to me.
Okay, ma. Get very grateful, ma. Thank you, ma.
You're welcome. Do we have any other questions?
Okay, I have something to say, though not a question, but just to add up to what you just told Joy. Yeah.
Okay.
From a personal experience, I would say number one, Joy, I want you to just forget the past and focus on the present and the future. I mean, the undergraduate, whatever has happened, put it in the past. Don't let it define who you are or who you can be. Forget it. Thank God you already have a publication. You're here listening to all this and also working on other publication. And just to add up there, if you have the fund, there's the option of doing a WES evaluation. That's an evaluation on your BSc results. Yeah, evaluation is just like converting the Nigerian grading system to a standard US grading system. And from my experience, I've done 2 evaluations. I've done WES and Spatran. Although WES is quite cheaper than Spatran, but I will advise or I would suggest people use WES because Spatran is kind of strict in the sense that if you had a carryover, Spatran will still counter carryover, but WES will overlook the first time you failed the course and just count the second time you wrote it. So they won't have to do the cumulative of the 2 times you wrote it, which will bring down your CGPA. And they have a way of being let's say compassionate over Spartan. So if you have the fund, it's quite expensive, over $200 for West, and Spartan is about 300. If you have the funds, do a West evaluation to make your results better. It will improve the grades, and maybe where you failed, they will just use only one of them. And Tolu have mentioned most of the other things. So let's see then our advice to focus on what you can do and what you can make out of your situation rather than falling back to the past. I believe that helps. Thank you.
Yes, ma. Thank you.
Right, you can evaluation, like you said, it's also helps you improve on your CGPA. Like if you failed the course before, like the respondent and they only calculate the one. Voice is actually good. Can also do. Okay, I think we are through with questions and answers. I don't know, but my details is in the PowerPoint. You can email me, or you can feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Or reply. You also need like maybe guidance on trying to link you with maybe other people you can also relate. And I also want to end with this. Please don't be discouraged with everything happening in the US right now. Yeah. In the midst of everything happening, some people getting their admission, some people are still getting funding. Just put your trust in God and believe that God will work your own out. God will work your out. And for those that are interested in maybe going to Canada, yeah, just keep pushing. So still the same format. The admission process is similar to the US. There's not much difference. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Tolu. Joy, are you raising up your hand?
Yes, sir, I have a question.
Okay.
Good evening. Thank you so much for the session with Tolulope. So my question is, I think is in two forms. Firstly, how do we handle recommenders? Because I actually tried applying this for the last application, and most of the issues I had was my recommenders, especially the ones from my school. I went to school physically. I spoke to them about it. I was advised to send a draft, right? But then I tried to even add some respect by going to meet them and discussing with them first. So it wouldn't be like I need their help and I'm communicating with them via calls and chats. So I went to them physically. I discussed with them. 1 out of 3 said no problem, that once I'm ready, I can send a draft. And then I also met with my HOD. I showed him the draft I wrote, and he was like, I'm not supposed to be the one to tell him what to write. I was like, no, it's just like a draft of what the school wants. And he was like, no, that I should not worry. Whenever I'm ready, he'll be the one to write something, that he'll go and ask about my performance from 100 level to 4. Like, he just made the whole thing tiring. And then I decided to look for an alternative, another person. Okay, she already said I should send a draft. After sending the draft, she sent me her email and other things to fill in during the application. After the school had sent, there's going to be an automatic message that they will send to her that she should upload it, only for her to tell me that she would have to go through it first and make some changes. And now I don't even know. Thank God I was unable to even submit, because I don't know what she had written there. She just said she'll make some changes. After telling me that she was going to use my draft, then she said she was. So my question is, how do we handle this? Because now, if I want to apply again, and I'll still need to meet them for help. What do I do? What do we do? Let me not personalize it. Let me even make it a general question. What do we do in this kind of situation? That is the number one. Then number two, sorry, ma. Number two is, you mentioned that if we can write GRE. I know you are just advising us, but most schools actually waive the GRE for during application. So now, since there's an opportunity for it to be waived, do we really need to? Is it not possible for us to just look out for schools that waived it, other than, because even GRE is not like it's always sure that someone will pass it, and it's a very expensive exam. It's not something you will write and then if you not pass it, you write it again. So I don't know. Can you like shed more light on that? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me start with your last question, GRE. The reason why I want to advise you go for a school that is not requesting with GRE is because the competition there is more. We have people like you two that we also don't want to write GRE. So if you have like maybe 100 people that have determined in their mind that I'm not writing GRE, I will apply to University of Alabama. After all, they are waiving GRE. So the competition there will be mass for you compared to a place where they request for GRE. Because of that GRE, some people will run away. They won't even bother applying there. So to me, you will be shooting yourself in the foot if you don't. I understand GRE is tasking. Yeah. It wasn't easy for me. I wrote GRE 2020. I was trying to like wrap up my master's program. I was trying to meet up with convocation. I was preparing for TOEFL and GRE. Like I had to travel to Lagos. It was demanding for me. I understand it's very demanding and very tasking. And like you said, it's also not guaranteed that someone will pass because it's an exam that it's tests. It doesn't really test to me, like my friend would say, it doesn't really test intelligence. It just test they have a way of testing some things and trying to see if you can do well. So I will advise if you can get the money and if you can put in the time to maybe attend tutorials. There are some tutorials for charity. Please do. If you feel that that particular school, you are sure that they will give you funding. Because the most important thing is funding. Because there is no point for you to go and apply to where they didn't ask you for GRE. They didn't ask you for application fee waiver. They didn't ask you for TOEFL. They didn't ask you for anything. They give you admission and they didn't give you funding. They give you zero funding. US is not easy to come. It's not a country you come to say you want to go and be working and be sourcing for your tuition. It's not UK. See, UK, someone can be doing that. In UK, you can be a student
Hello,
and be
ma.
working.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So please don't take the chance because your chances of you getting an admission offer that will not come with funding is very high. It's very, very high. And it is not a pleasant experience at all. The best way to enjoy the United States is to come here with at least partial funding. Even if it's tuition waiver, at least partial funding. That's the best. You don't have to write GRE, but if you know you can't write GRE and you want to apply to those schools that are not requesting for GRE, make sure your CV is very tight. Make sure you have other things that they will see there that will make them know that, oh, this person is good to go. We can make our decision without GRE. Please do that. And for instance, let me go back to your other question, but before then, I want to address something. For instance, when I was doing my internship with ADA, I had the opportunity to publish a paper. And I wrote GRE, but eventually my GRE was not even used. Yeah, they didn't use it. And when the admission committee sat, I remember my advisor mailed me in Nigeria when I was in Nigeria. He said they are giving me the admission. They are using like a particular criteria for me, which is my publication. And in fact, they said I must have at least three publications. So I must have at least. Thank God I already published the paper I published with Prof, like with Ada then. It's really, in fact, it was a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise for me. That's why it is always because one might not really know when all these things, when you relate to them. I would never have imagined that a time will come where they will say that, oh, we are making a decision regarding your application and we are going to like base this decision based on your publications. In fact, they use number of publications. And luckily for me, I had more than, in fact, when my advisor messaged me, sent a mail to me, it was like, that was the conclusion. And when they mentioned that, it was like, oh, fine, that's, I'm in then. That's, it knows I have more than the number of publications that they were requesting for. So it was really handed. And I really thank God Ada helped me in that line because that publication, publications I had, no, they were lifesavers. They were lifesavers. And I believe God allowed me to have that experience because I never knew I was going to need for a major decision. Please, if you're not going to write GRE, focus. See, old prof title. Focus on publication. I remember prof was always the one even on my neck. Tolu, publish this thing. I'm 10 years. I wonder that I'm doing myself. Please, if prof is telling you to publication, please do it. If he's telling you It's not for his own good. It's not his name that will be there. He already has numerous publications. It's for your own good. In fact, they even asked for first author. There was one that they asked for first author paper. And I remember Prof was always mentioning it then when I was doing my internship that first author paper is very important. There was one that they asked for first author paper. So all these publications, all these things you are learning from art, it might be the edge for you. Maybe when they want to make a decision, they might not tell you because I had the opportunity to hear it from my advisor. If he did not tell me, I would stop. They might not tell you. You might not know the reason why they didn't give the addition at the point. So they might have looked at your publications and they made that decision. Maybe someone else didn't have maybe that kind of publications and edge. So please make good use of other publications. It's really, really important. The internship was really impactful, very, very impactful, and it was part of the success story for my graduate school. I can't say the story of my graduate school. I won't remember that. I remember it clearly. Okay, regarding your recommendation, you see this recommendation letter. I think the people that I can say we need this advice more now are people that are still in school, people that have not graduated. In fact, it was when I graduated I realized the power of having good relationship with professors. For me, it was easier for me because I had a very good relationship with almost all my professors, even before this. And I had some of my colleagues that did not have good relationship with them. So coming from your angle of the recommendation, my dear, you just have to keep you just have to keep pushing. Yes, you have to keep leading because you need them. What I will now advise is try to get maybe one person or two people on your side. You see that your HOD that is saying, don't draft this, don't that, people like that, a lot of them, people in my own part, you will always meet lecturers that they are everywhere. They will tell you that you are not the one to tell them what to write. Some people can submit nonsense for what you are going to do. Look for one or two, because most times they always require request for academic reference. Academic means professors that are into maybe academic research and like then you can add maybe one industry expert to write a recommendation letter for. Get someone that is not in academics. Get someone that does maybe the company you work for, or maybe someone out there that can write you one that you can always know that if I have a deadline tomorrow, if I message this person, anyhow, this person will submit a recommendation. You need your own people. You need those kind of some people like that in the corner. You need those kind of so in that your department, sit down, ask yourself, in my department, which of these professors can I build or can I start building strong relationship with? You maybe one or two of them. I don't know if maybe the person that supervised you was close to you. You can maybe cement the relationship between you and the person and look for one more person. With academic, you have two people with academic references, you are good to go. Then get one person, just get one person maybe that's not in academic. If you have all of them in academic, fine. But two is okay for academic reference. Two is okay. Then. One more person from industry. So you'll be shuffling them like that. There are sometimes some will tell you, all this your application is not getting too much. Yes, it's stressful. It's not easy writing a recommendation letter for somebody. But like I said, look for one or two people to build strong relationship. Out of those people that you went to meet, look for one or two people that you have to like fighting your relationship with the person. With them. Like two people is two people. That HOD will definitely write for you. Allow the HOD to write what he wants to write. If he doesn't want a draft, no problem. Let him write what he wants to write. But there are people like that, they will tell you they will write and they will actually write. But all those ones that he's telling you he doesn't know you. The reason why he was telling you he doesn't know you was because he didn't have a relationship with you. He didn't know you when you were maybe you were not a student that maybe professors. And there are some students that they do IT or they like IT. That's what I'm saying. The people that even need to hear this are people that still have the privilege to start building that good relationship now. For people that have graduated, it might be a bit difficult because they will know that the only reason why you are coming now to meet is because of what you need, and which is obvious. So, but you need it and you still need them. So you are the one now that will now humble yourself, calm down, and beg them because you need them. You need them. You need them. So just look for two people that you can build good relationship with. Start building good relationship with them, relating with them very well, checking on them, ask them if there is maybe anything you can help with. Like start building, Not that you should cajole them or try to deceive them. No, like be genuine, build genuine relationship with them. And also try as much as possible to look for more people. They don't have to be in your department. The person that will write a recommendation letter for you doesn't have to be in the department, doesn't have to be your HOD. One person from your department is okay. You can get one other person from another department that's not even in your school, but that is academic. That one's okay. So if you feel like those people in your department are not cooperating, look for someone maybe in another department that you know that you can build relationship with. But you know that the person is into academics, maybe a professor, department, or maybe those are the now old styles. Then those other ones that they are shaking, they are not giving you real face, they will help you. And those keep those ones at arm's length. Those ones that will write for them, fine. The ones that will not write with you, fine. I think that's just it. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sorry, good evening, Ma. I have a little question. So thank you very much, Ma, again for the class. It was quite insightful. I'm still an undergraduate. I'm in my 4th year. Can you hear me, Ma?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, and I just want to ask if I actually love, or let me say, I have passion for teaching, and I would love to go for postgraduate. And a friend of mine, I would say, when I was in 100 level, was in 400 level. But presently, he had a scholarship straight to PhD from BSc. So I'm also thinking towards that. And I just would love to ask that what are the criteria, what are the things needed, what are the things that, or what would you advise? Is it that in the space of going for straight to PhD, I should also acquire master, spending the time that falls through, and the documents that is needed, and purely that, and how to ace the applications, Ma. Thank you, Ma.
Okay, if I got your question right, are you trying to ask that maybe for someone going from for a direct
Yes,
PhD?
yes, Ma, from BSc straight to PhD.
Okay. Actually, most people that do fall into that category are people that finish with first class. Most people that I've seen that fell into that category. There's something called, I don't know if you heard about Education USA.
Not at all, Ma.
Okay. Um, this question you are asking is for your friend.
No, Ma, it's for me, Ma. I was just opportune to be with him for a while. So when I was in 100 level, he was in 400 level. Presently, he's in US, but he had his straight to PhD from BSc. So I just want to know things one need to do, things one need to have, and things to focus more.
Okay. Like I said, everything I've explained earlier, these are the main things the person needs to have. For instance, did your friend that got the admission, did he finish with the first class?
Yes. I think yes.
That's what I'm saying. Most people that finish with first class always have that edge. They often have that edge of regrets. Although some people that didn't finish with first class also can be privileged to get that. And again, it also depends on the department. For instance, my own department here, they don't take direct like BSc directly to PhD. You must have your masters before you can do PhD. Some departments do not take direct PhD. Bachelor's, then now come and do PhD. In between the PhD, you are going to get your masters. Some don't. You must have your masters before you can apply for a post. Just like in the UK, most schools in the United Kingdom, they don't do direct PhD. You can only do PhD when you already have your masters. So for your friend, I believe your friend must have, like I said, he finished with the first class. So he might not have even had maybe publications and even all those big things. But maybe the project he worked on during his final year was very strong. And also along the line before graduating, there must have been some things he must have done. Let me give you an instance. I know a couple of people that got directly like from BSc to PhD. I have a friend in Carnegie Mellon University into AI. So he's doing his PhD currently in computer science and engineering, and major is in artificial intelligence. natural language processing and likes. But he came directly from FUNAB, like he got a direct PhD CMU, and CMU is a top thing. But he had enough research experience and he has contributed to a lot of projects. He has organized seminars, a lot of data science, artificial intelligence talks in Nigeria, conferences. Like he has connected with a lot of like people in the field and so many things like that. So there are people like that. So what for someone like you that's still in your 100 level, like you said, in fact, it's a very good opportunity for you to start building your profile. If I were to if I were to go back in time, I wish I had this kind of someone tell me all these things now. You really you can really do it. Like there's something called Indaba, deep learning Indaba, same conference, Data Science Africa. They do that in Lagos, Victoria Highland. Sometimes I think the one they are doing this year will be at University of Ibadan. Attend conferences, AI conference, data science conference, all those things. The ones you can apply for. And start doing that now. Start building those profiles. By the time you will be through, by the time you get to your final year, even if you did not finish with first class, because this person that I said got direct PhD did not even finish with first class, but he has enough research experience. He teaches people on AI, on data science, machine learning. Like he was already like turning towards an expert on his own, like someone that can stand on his own. So he already had publications. Presentation at NeurIPS, that's like one of the highest AI conference in the world. So you already had all of that in Nigeria before you submitted this application. So for someone like you, please, it is a very good opportunity for you. Start attending conferences, start participating in hackathons, data science hackathons, a lot of those things. Collaborate with people on projects. The way you are doing in ADA, collaborate on projects, build projects, build things. You are building your profile unknowingly. When you build those things, you can tell prof after building those things that I would like to present this thing. Look for conferences where you can present these things. Present them. Your profile is expanded. Before you know it, you're already networking. You are meeting with people. You're meeting with experts in the field. You are networking with people, and it will really help you. These are some of the things I also did. I had the opportunity to go to like the conference in Ghana. That was in 2023. It's called Deep Learning Daba. That was like one of the largest AI conference for AI experts, machine learning experts in Africa. So I think those and they do deep learning in Daba X. That in Daba X is for each country. They do the one for Nigeria. I think they are doing it. Just search online. All these things are there. And also on Twitter, follow tech communities. On LinkedIn, follow tech community. Follow people that you know they are doing these tech things. Not people that are bamboozling people, not those that are lying. Follow people that are doing real things. And it will really help. You have a very good rate because you're already in ADA and Prof is really interested in publications, really and major things and projects. And the best way to build and to develop on your skills is to work on projects actually. It's not just about learning the truth. Oh, I want to learn how to use R. I want to learn how to use now. Fine, it's good to learn those tools. But things are changing. Now we are in the era of generative AI, large language models. Those are the trending things, and you need to be like up front, like know what's going on, know what's trending. Because technology is changing every day. It's moving very fast. So that's the best way you can sort of like help yourself. I'm really happy for it because if you start grinding now, that's why you're in 100 level, by the time you will be true and you are intentional about your goals, even if you do not finish with the first class, you can get a direct PhD admission based on other things that you've built over time. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, ma, you did, ma. Thank you very much.